remember somebody was telling me about, just a cat, a simple cat. He was telling me he had a cat in a flat, and this cat had strange behavior and emotionally was just sometimes really weird and unhappy and would be almost like a wild cat sometimes. And this cat was in a flat. Okay.
Goodness, yes.
And yes, he'd go on cement outside, but it was on cement.
Okay.
And anyway, this person told me that he then was moving away overseas. So he was very sad because he had to give his cat away to his one of his siblings. And his sister had a beautiful garden, and so the cat went now to a garden, a house with a garden. And he said he visited his sister after a year. He could not believe it was the same cat. It was so calm, it was so happy, but calm. Emotionally so calm. So it's worth to think, the cat needed the ground, the grass.
The trees.
The trees. How much more do our children need?
Things. And our elderly, like you said.
Elderly, yes, absolutely.
To go for walks and appreciate nature, not to be locked up. But a lot of them struggle with fear. Our society is so
fearful.
Fearful. We can't go out because, this and that. And, so I think places like Pilates, if one knows you can go and move at a specific place where it's safe, could give some people an opportunity.
Absolutely. And I think we kind of think, the young people kind of think, well, granny and grandpa or mum and dad, they're elderly now, so they're okay, they can't move, so they should just sit in the chair. And that's where they should stay. But we put limits on our own elderly. We put limits on them as well. They put limits on themselves, but we also put reinforce the limits. In fact, sometimes we steer it that way. We motor it that way. So you need to take the elderly out. Even if you are a healthy 60-year-old, make sure you're going out. You don't need to look 60. Exactly. You don't need to move like a 60-year-old. You don't need to. You can change that, and you're never too old to change it. You can start changing things for yourself at 80. Just because let's say you're listening to us talking now, and you say, well, I'm 80, it's too late for me, or I'm 70, it's too late for me. No, it's never too late. Never too late, because the brain is the only organ that does not stop growing. It's always busy making connections. So
unless we're not moving, I guess.
Unless you're not moving. So through movement, those brain connections are reinforced and created. So
a walk outside in a park where you're seeing beautiful stuff, you're moving, maybe you're seeing birds. That is all very, very beneficial.
Very, because you then grow in your brain, and you're making connections in the brain. People have this strange idea that when they get to a certain age, the brain stops growing. That is so not true. That is so not true. It's the most exciting part of life. The brain just doesn't stop growing because it keeps making connections, and it's always seeking out to make connections.